We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Jordan Phillips, the Miami Dolphins' newest defensive tackle that they added in the 2025 NFL Draft in the 5th round. And this is my favorite pick in terms of value in this class. I think they got him a couple rounds later than he should have gone. And he is a dominant, nose tackle, one tech. The Dolphins just really bulked up, and he is so explosive and powerful and constantly going to win. And, this guy's young, too. Only 20 years old, can still get better as a player, which is also nice. I love his build. He's a guy that's, he's a little under 6'2", which I actually like for a nose tackle. Guys who have that natural low center of gravity, allows them to, play strong, but he's got good weight to him at 312. Has a good bench, and he also had good explosive grades as if you check his RAS, which definitely shows up the explosiveness that he brings through on his hips and his power in those situations. I don't think he's the best lateral athlete or anything. That's why I think he's going to be more in that interior, taking on double teams. He has that ability. He's got a stout anchor, very tough guy to move. Weight room freak. He puts up some insane numbers in the weight room. Apparently he's a very hard worker. That's what he was known for at Maryland. Was all of the work he put in. So, drafted 2 guys actually from Maryland. But yeah, definitely love his power. I think he shows explosiveness. It is a good linear athlete, very heavy-handed too. Believe he was also a former wrestler from everything I see. I think if you go towards more negatives, I think he's a little bit limited as a pass rusher, which is usually the case for guys that are more of those nose tackle one tech guys that maybe aren't the most athletic players in the world, at least laterally. But I still think he can make an impact just with his pure power right away, and he's still very young, so I think he can develop more of a pass rush plan. And, maybe wasn't the most productive in that area, but I think he's instantly, especially as a 5th round pick, going to be a huge part of the rotation. And that's a big thing. If you're with a 5th round pick, who's going to play significant snaps, which I think Phillips will, he won't technically be a starter, but he's going to be a part of that rotation. And I think make an instant impact as a run defender. That's very, very nice. Here, lined up as the nose. He did this a lot. It's where he's very comfortable. And you can just see that initial quickness, that first step quickness is the most important thing for a D-line. I think that first step is really, really nice. He's able to hit that swim move. He loves the arm over. Very similar to Kenneth Grant in that area. Him and Grant are different types of players, but they do play in some similar spots. There is some overlap, but love seeing that he comes in. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be even surprised because him and Benito Jones play the same position. Wouldn't be surprised if Phillips actually outplays him because he's more powerful and have some more explosive traits to his game than I think Benito does. But they're just able to win very quickly. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite picks in this class. Just I would say this after Grant is probably my favorite pick, and then just in terms of value, it's the best value pick that the Dolphins made in the class. Here you can just see some explosiveness, getting off the ball low, fire off the snap, and just get after the quarterback. While he wasn't getting sacks, he was getting pressures, and he was doing it in some pretty disruptive ways, as you'll see throughout this tape. But here he is, head up on the center, nose again, and he's able to just cross face, which is the most important thing. That first step, he's able to be quick enough to cross the face. He's not going to show insane lateral range down the line, but that first step, able to cross the face, so important at that position, and able to use his own leverage against him, get around the gap, use good hand usage, and then now able to sort of bend back and get involved in the play. So that shows the ability. He shows the ability to one gap, but also two gap. You're going to see different advantages of this. Here, he's one gapping, instantly winning and penetrating upfield. You'll see him hold his own at the point of attack, take on double teams, two gap situations. Very, very nice. Then he hits this move. A move that I think would translate really well to the Dolphins scheme, where he's lined up over the center, but he crosses face to get over to the guard. So he's exchanging gaps here, and he hits this hop into this cross chop move. He hits a hop chop, and the movement skills he shows on this play look extra impressive compared to some of the other stuff. He does throw some moves out there. I think he needs more of a counter plan when the initial moves don't work, but he does at least throw an initial move. He looks explosive there, and he's able to dip and rip underneath, show some blend, show some bend, not blend, and some flexibility. Very, very impressive. Gets a QB hit, wins quickly. I think that's something that Dolphins will value, and then he just does stuff like that. If you're an interior D lineman, especially a guy that plays as a nose and a one tech, typically if they do create pressure, it is this type of thing. I mean, here he's lined up as a three tech, but you can just see pure speed to power bull rush. Like, he's able to absolutely lift this guy out of the club. Good pad level. It's the natural leverage he gets from his size, and then he's also just strong as an ox, and he extends those hips really well. He's got really explosive lower half, and he's able to just absolutely bully and collapse the pocket there. And then, yeah, here's another example. Same thing, doing it to the center. Doesn't get the sack, but he basically just completely bully ball. And I, love this because you're not always going to be able to win with any, like, fancy movement. But if you're just bullying off into lineman up front, which I think that was the key thing for the Dolphins in this draft, and probably my favorite aspect of it is that you got bullies, very physical players. And yes, they're very big, which is a huge help. But sometimes there's bigger players that get drafted that are kind of more finesse guys. But these guys are big and bullies, tough players, and that's kind of where Phillips makes his money. But they also have that part of their game where they can play with that sort of finesse if they need to. He doesn't need to bully you. He has multiple ways to win. Here, the center, since they're so scared of getting bull rushed, they end up leaning too far over the top. He feels that happening, and he hits the swim move and uses their own leverage against them, and they end up on the ground. This is a very common occurrence on his film. He's able to get back and get into play, make tackle for losses, make tackle at the line of scrimmage just like that, very consistently. And then he'll fire off the ball. And, he talks about it in one of his interviews where, like, hey, they are... Or actually, I think Kenneth Grant might have mentioned in his interview. But when you're at it as a nose, these guys only have one hand initially, the centers, because they're snapping the ball. Honestly, just fire off on them. And look how he was able to get into the chest. Good hand placement, extend, and now able to push, pull, and get instant penetration and force the miss throw. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Here you can see the explosiveness. Because he gets engaged. Once he gets here, he's low. Look at him throw this extra. Look at him extend the hips. He literally hits a hop. Like, he's engaged with this guy. He extends his hips so much that he ends up getting off the ground with his feet while engaged, getting still back, and just absolutely pulling man into the guy. The explosiveness here is absolutely ridiculous. Like, that lower body explosiveness combined with the heavy hands up front, like, holy moly, this guy has a clear role right away for what he's going to do for you. And getting someone like that in the 5th round, when you're in the 5th round, usually you end up mostly taking a lot of developmental guys that either have good traits, or players that are like higher floor, but they dropped because they maybe didn't have the greatest athleticism, and you're hoping they can make instant impact and that sort of thing, but they don't have a super high ceiling. Phillips is the type of guy that makes an instant impact, but also has a high ceiling, being young and athletic, and still has ways he can develop, but also has a very clear way of impacting the game right away as a run defender. But yeah, it's just plays like this here, able to cross the face, showing some quickness. Always nice when you can see a guy that's able to do some stunt work or slant. That's very important for the Dolphins system. Here's an example of him versus the run. 2-gapping. He can 2-gap very easily. Control at the point of attack. He understands, like, hey, looks like they're trying to combo me. When you're trying to get comboed, you really want to focus solely on one guy and square him up, so it makes it harder for you to combo. And he gets control of him. He resets the line of scrimmage with power. And once he sees this running back declare to the backside gap, because he's responsible for this gap and the backside, this is his primary. Once he sees this guy declare back, he's now able to stack, shed, get off of him, and make that tackle near the line of scrimmage. Super impressed with Phillips' work. He's a strain, he sustains, he plays with high effort. Here's another example of 2-gapping, holding his own at the point of attack. Basically, him holding his own here, peeking this gap and ready to peel back if this guy cuts back. He basically slows down 6 completely, and now he makes 6, really bounce to the outside into the help of his teammate, and he's still able to get out there and help make that tackle late after the guy basically got out of his gap. He chases things down. You leave him unblocked. Like, he's not going to be super athletic laterally here, but he's going to work hard to get to it. He's going to definitely play with a high motor. That's a big thing to like with Phillips' game. Another Jordan Phillips defensive tackle. Watch him here throwing some spin moves. He likes to throw a spin move. Like, he doesn't look the most athletic doing this, but I've seen it work for him, and it's pretty fun. Like, it worked in that situation. It worked a couple of times. And here he is taking on some double teams in the interior. Like, he completely splits this one. Tries to square this up. Look at him get low. He drops the anchor, plays with really good leverage and pad level, stays on his feet, balance, body control, and then able to, continue to fight and help get in the pile. So many things like with Phillips' game. Look at the spin move. He's timing these things. This one maybe not as violent as the other one, but this one works a little more smoothly, and he clearly feels comfortable doing it because look at his right arm here. So he sets this up, he dips, and look at his right arm. You want to get, when you do this, that elbow, you want to get your arm to the back of his elbow so he can't reset his hands. Because if you don't get it to the back of his elbow, he can easily get back into position. But if you pin that elbow back, he's stuck and can't recover, and now you're able to work past him and get a pressure on the QB in those situations. Look at Phillips just absolutely pulling these poor offensive linemen, man. So strong, so powerful. Some push and pull up front too. We've seen him win with speed and power, but he's able to push into you, extend, and now use that leverage against you, pull him to the ground. Stay on his feet too, because this guy, the offensive lineman almost pulls him to the ground. He's kind of holding him, but he's able to stay on his feet. That shows some good body control and balance. And I think for a guy of his size, that is impressive. That's like my favorite part. Here's another 2-gap rep. Just a lot to like with Jordan Phillips. Solid 2-gap reps where you're working down the field, you're working down the line laterally. You get control of your primary gap. You can see he's in control of this primary gap, the A gap here. Doesn't allow the guy to reach him play side. He's got good, body lean down low. He's playing with some bend. He's leveraging, but he's reading through the offensive line to the running back. And once he sees the running back sort of peeling this back, he's now able to anticipate that and get into the position to make a tackle on the Iowa running back. Just super impressed with the plays that he was making. Big fan of Jordan Phillips, the player. One of my favorite picks for Miami in this class. If you guys want early access, join up as a member. I'm making all the film breakdowns on the whole Dolphins draft class and UDFAs. I'm going to be streaming, talking about the draft, so check all that stuff out. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the Peace.